Review for Flight Risk with Mark Wahlberg, Topher Grace, Michelle Dockery, directed by Mel Gibson. A pilot transports an air marshal accompanying a fugitive to trial as they cross the Alaskan wilderness. Tensions soar and trust is tested, and not everyone aboard is who as they seem. So this came out like a month and a half ago, right at the beginning of 2025. The main reason I was interested in it is because it's directed by Mel Gibson, and I do like some of his movies that he's directed. Mark Wahlberg, he's okay. Never been a massive fan of his, but for this movie, I'd say this is a mediocre movie, honestly. I wasn't crazy impressed. I didn't hate it, but Mark Wahlberg's the best thing in it, definitely. I mean, he's having a good time. He's going crazy. Because, it's spoilers. I think it's all ruined in the trailer. He isn't the real pilot. The real pilot he killed. He's working for the mob. He's going to try and kill them. So, basically the movie is like almost just three people. There's some people on the phone. And that's pretty much it until the very end. And then there's some emergency services and stuff, but very small cast. It's a movie that takes place in one location pretty much, which is this plane. And Michelle Dockery, whatever, starts to realize that he's acting kind of weird. He has like a cut on his neck, and then he has some blood on his arm. And then she finally realizes he's not as who he says. And then they all start attacking each other. But, yeah, I mean, it's entertaining enough. If you want a movie just to kind of put on for an hour and a half, it's entertaining. Like I said, Mark Wahlberg is very good. It's probably one of the best performances I've seen him give. So just spoilers now. Spoilers. So like Mark Wahlberg, I mean, like a problem with the movie I'd say is Mark Wahlberg, he's in it, but basically he attacks him, then he gets knocked out. And then he attacks him again, and then he gets knocked out. And then he attacks him again, and then he gets knocked out. And it's just like almost half the movie he's just unconscious in the back, chained up or whatever, and I don't know. And then Topher Grace, not a big fan, and he's kind of just annoying in the movie, and he keeps hitting on Michelle Dockery, and so does Mark Wahlberg, and Mark Wahlberg is also hitting on Topher Grace, and it's just some of the humor in this just didn't work for me. And there's this whole thing with Michelle Dockery, and she's on the phone with this guy that's trying to tell her how to land a plane and fly a plane. And then he's hitting on her, and he's like, we're gonna go out to dinner when you land. And it's like, I don't know, a lot of the humor didn't work for me. So, yeah. Kind of like a mediocre movie. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10, which for me is like, it's watchable, but it's not great. I mean, Mel Gibson, I think, has done better direction. Braveheart, Apocalypto, Passion of the Christ, I think all much better. But it's, a nice little movie. It's not long at all. See what the budget is. 25 million. Wow, really? Okay, it says that it made 41 million, but so the movie was shot, this is the trivia, the movie was shot in 22 days, and Mel Gibson had expressed he himself was surprised when the final running time came to merely 91 minutes, making this the shortest directed film he's done. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg, I like his look with this shaved head. It just makes him, or he's like, bald. He's actually wearing a wig too, which is funny, and then he gets his hat knocked off in his wig. Mark Wahlberg really shaved his head for this role. He did not want to use a bald cap. I saw like Kermode saying it looks like he's wearing a bald cap, even though it's not. I don't know. It looks like he has a. It looks like he has doesn't have hair on his head. So I don't know. He was kind of, you know, down on the movie. But I mean, I agree with a lot of the criticisms, but that criticism I don't agree with. It was Wahlberg's idea to have the pilot be bald. Filmmakers acknowledge his appearance strongly mirrored that of the BTK killer Dennis Rader. Huh. Yeah, he does look like him. Wow. According to Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg improvised much of his character's dialogue. He's got some funny lines, although kind of weird and creepy, but explaining Mark's got a good dark side. He takes stuff from every now and again. He'd let it out, and I can't even repeat some of the stuff he'd say. In fact, we had to cut most of it out. It was really sick, but we hint at it. Flightless supposedly started filming on June 16, 2024, was halted due to the SAG strike, but Mel Gibson was granted a waiver to resume filming. The first movie in which Mark Wahlberg plays a villain since Fear. Yeah, a lot of people are comparing his character to that. I don't even remember that movie. Maybe I'll try and watch it again. I think I watched it a long time ago. So it's with Reese Witherspoon, Mark Wahlberg, William Peterson, directed by James Foley. Although Wahlberg had the smallest role among the three actors and spent at least a third of the movie unconscious, his face alone is featured on the movie poster. Yeah, probably because like, is Topher Grace a draw, and no one really knows who the other lady is. So, but I mean, yeah, I mean Topher Grace and her are in it more. The landing sequence was apparently filmed at the small once runway airport in Mesquite, Nevada. The two big lighted X's on either side of the runway indicate to pilots that the runway is closed and is not safe for use. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how believable it is. You could just talk someone into how to pilot over the radio, but it is what it is. Mel Gibson has only directed 5 feature films since his debut in 1993, The Man Without a Face. I don't think I've seen that. He often takes long breaks between films. Hacksaw Ridge was released 7 years ago. Before Gibson gets to Flight Risk, he is already in pre-production on the Passion of the Christ Resurrection, a sequel to his 2004 box office hit. Mark Wahlberg and Mel Gibson previously worked together on Daddy's Homes 2. So, yeah, you know, I'd say this is kind of I was thinking Midnight Run because Topher Grace is an accountant for the mob. Then I think he steals a bunch of money and runs away, and then he's on the run from the U.S. Marshals. So that's kind of like Midnight Run, which is a way better movie, by the way, and much funnier. But in that movie, Robert De Niro is like a bondsman. He's not a marshal, but. And then Speed also I was thinking of too, just because you're trapped at a little location. So it's kind of what I was thinking. Speed meets Midnight Run. But yeah, that's about it though. I think it's a mediocre movie, but it's not very long. Mark Wahlberg's really good in it. Just, I think, you know, it could have been touched up a little bit. I wish Mark Wahlberg was in it more, because like it said, you know, he's knocked unconscious throughout multiple times. There's like some bad CGI blood in the movie too. A lot of the fight scenes, it's in a very small location, so you really can't do much, you know, and they're in an airplane flying over Alaska, but I mean, I assume almost all of that is CGI, or just they take photography from something else and put it into it. But yeah, and then at the end of the movie, there's this one EMS guy and he looks kind of weird, and then she's like, oh, he's gonna kill Topher Grace, and then he's like strangling him. So then she goes and shoots the guy, and I just thought that was so obvious. And then there's this whole subplot of her boss she thinks is is corrupt, but then it happened to be, no, it's actually the main boss that's above her boss that's corrupt. And he's like talking to the assassin, like, did you get him? Did you get, Topher Grace? Did you kill him? And then she's like, no, but you're going to go to jail. I don't know. It's just like kind of lazy and cheesy. I'd say, yeah, outside of Mark Wahlberg, I probably wouldn't really like this movie. I mean, as much as I do, 6 out of 10, which isn't much, but it's decent. But if you could do me a favor and smash that like button, that'd be great. It really helps the channel. But yeah, check it out if you're into Mel Gibson directed movies, or if you're into Mark Wahlberg. And I guess Topher Grace has a fan base, I guess. He's just kind of annoying. I mean, he's annoying in the Predator movie that he's in. He was good in that 70s show, but yeah. And if you're into Michelle Dockery. So, oh, she was in like Downton Abbey and stuff. Okay. She actually British? Yeah, she's English. Of course. It's like in Hollywood, there's so many actors that you're like that they're English or British, and they're doing like American accents, but she does a good job. So, can't complain much. But that's about it. I'll see you next time.